minister's decision to veto the Northern Gateway pipeline, Mr. Carney?
I understand the veto of the Northern Gateway pipeline.
Do you support it?
Given both environmental and commercial reasons.
Do you support it?
I think it is sensible. I wasn't involved in the decision, but I think it was the right decision.
And yet your company has invested billions of dollars in oil companies in both Brazil and the UAE to buy pipelines. You bought billions of dollars of pipelines as a company in the last 5 years. Do you support those investments?
Mr. Poilievre, there is a global energy system, and one of the issues, I'm trying to explain a bit of how the economy works. One of the
Thank
issues,
you so much.
It may help. One of the issues for this committee in thinking about a sustainable transition.
Do you support it?
Where is Canada's role in those as energy transitions from fossil fuels to renewables? And in different jurisdictions, into different geography, it matters. It matters, and this is a fundamental point.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. This is a fundamental. You're finally getting to a point
You've exceeded
that
the
is
time.
relevant to this committee's
What
inquiry.
you're saying is you oppose pipelines in Canada, but you support them in the UAE and in Brazil. That's what you've actually said.
There are specific.
That's your double standard.
It is not a double standard. It is not a double standard. It is not a double standard.
It is a double standard.
No, it's not.
You make billions of dollars off foreign pipelines, and you shut them down here at home, putting our people out of work.
I know that I've played this clip before, and I know that I've tweeted it out, and I know that I have raged against the dying of the night or the dying of the light, whatever the hell it is, on Twitter about this. We're witnessing what we call the celebration parallax in real time. It's not happening, but it's a good thing that it is. You need to understand, and I think that you do, but I need to hammer this home, and I need to highlight this because we are now 22 days away from what I think is the most consequential election in Canadian history. And I cannot fathom how the markets have it where they have it. Pierre Poilievre went into this because of performances like this, the hands down favorite to win the next national election in Canada. Hands down. Because for all my criticism against Pierre Poilievre, he is smart. He is charismatic, and he is, I will say this because I'll bet on it any day of the week, better in debate, and he will crush Mark Carney in a debate. That's not to say that he should underestimate Mark Carney in all of his globalist wisdom. When Pierre performs, he's amazing. This goes back to that other amazing cross-examination he had with Justin Trudeau in the We Charity scandal. And he had that same, this is not a criticism, this is actually the compliment, that same unassuming, nerdy way of phrasing things. Just very, very quiet. Mr. Trudeau, how much did your family get paid from the We Charity? How much?
Mr. Poilievre, it will be my pleasure to give you all of the financial...
How much? How much? How much?
I'm going to ask you again, how much in total, and I'm looking for a dollar figure here, sir, how much did your spouse receive in reimbursed expenses or other benefits from this organization? How much?
Your original question, Mr. Poilievre, was how much was my immediate family?
I asked you a different question now.
How
much?
Mr. Poilievre, the Prime Minister has the floor.
My wife has never been paid since I was Prime Minister.
Reimbursed for expenses.
Mr. Poilievre, could we please have order? We'll allow the Prime Minister to answer the question, and then we'll move on to Ms. Zerowitz. Sorry, Julie. Mr. Prime Minister, you have about 30 seconds here.
The Ethics Commissioner has fully cleared my wife to continue her advocacy and her work with We Charity and other organizations.
How much?
In the kind of work that she's been doing all her life.
Just the dollar figure.
She's doing it unpaid for We. She is not being paid by We for her advocacy or for her podcasts. They are simply reimbursing her for expenses.
Mr. Carney, do you not think it's a double standard that you invest in Brazil and UAE dirty energy pipelines because you advise Canada to cripple its resource industry to be clean, despite the fact that it emits 1.25% of global emissions, even if you think that's the problem? You then simultaneously invest in dirty countries for dirty energy because they don't abide by the same crippling policy you advise on to achieve net zero by 2030 or 2050 or whatever in Canada. Do you not think that's a bit hypocritical? Well, you see, there's jurisdictions in all of this. Some countries don't have the infrastructure to cripple themselves to provide clean energy, and so it would would be unfair to expect Brazil to operate like Canada, so we'll cripple Canada because of my policy, while I then, through Brookfield Assets Management, invest in the very same countries that are creating dirty energy.
It is not a double standard.
That's not good business. That's not everybody trying to make a buck. That is the filthiest level of corruption imaginable. You have a man advising Justin Trudeau and then investing, on the other hand, as a result of the advice he gives to Justin Trudeau to achieve a meaningless, impossible net zero by 2050. He's a globalist of the highest order, a corrupt SOB of the highest order, and I don't understand how it's even close. And this is not like a Hillary Clinton. You might be asking yourself, why is Pierre Poilievre not up by 50 points? He's made some mistakes, but I will be forever dismayed if Canadians, as a nation, are sufficiently stupid to actually give a fourth election, a fourth mandate, albeit the last one or the last two were minority, to a Liberal government. Carney, and this will come out during the debate because I have no doubt that Pierre Poilievre is going to smash that globalist SOB in the debate, especially in the French one, because above and beyond having some fine crafted speaking points when he goes on a French media that's like, oh, fawning over Carney like he's some sort of Beatles lead singer. Ringo Starr. It's not Ringo Starr. Come on, who is it? John Lennon. Yeah, other than having some very pre-scripted, pre-rehearsed French statements to read, he's going to get his butt handed to him, I think, just as a result of what I think is his terrible quality French.
C'est une société incroyable, incroyable à travers le monde, parce qu'il y a une combinaison des entrepreneurs, des artistes, des personnages qui... Oh, pardon, une réponse courte, oui. Je sais. Mais pour moi, c'est primordial pour le Canada, le Québec.
But he's going to get smashed in the debate. And if he doesn't, okay, if Canada actually elects for a fourth time a Liberal government, I will have lost faith in Canada. Not all of Canada and not all of Canadians, just those that vote Liberal. Over and over and over and over again. Carney, I said, the celebration parallax is an amazing thing. It's not happening, but it's a good thing that it is. Somebody puts out a tweet. Who cares what these tweets are anymore? So I'm sitting there fighting windmills. Here's the Canadians for the Liberal Party of Canada. Mark Carney has global connections. Pierre Poilievre has convoy clowns. The choice is easy.
And we'll help you get started. We're going to build big things in this country.
Oh, yeah. Go on.
Naval ships to neighborhoods, to the new grids that power them. It'll be a great time for a career in the trade. And we'll help you get started. We'll cover the cost of your training.
With your money.
And make it easier to work wherever you want in Canada. You're going to be busy building this country.
We're gonna. We've been in power since 2015. We're gonna. Give us a fourth term, you idiots. If you vote for them, you're an idiot. So this guy, the guy comes out and says, Mark Carney has global connections. Remember, everybody, it's the celebration parallax. Mark Carney is not a globalist, but it's a good thing that he is. He doesn't go to Davos, but it's a good thing that he does. He doesn't go to Bilderberg meetings every year and meet with Burla, but it's great that he does because he'll bring vaccines into Canada at great rates. He's a banker. He knows how to negotiate. But Mark J. Carney has entered the election cycle, and they've entered what I'm going to call now, it's called tragedy pandering. You think it was an accident that Justin Trudeau? I think Justin Trudeau had a Rolodex of tragedies. What tragedy can I exploit today for political profit? Oh, the Humboldt bus crash that happened 7 years ago. Arguably as a result of more failed Liberal policy, but we don't need to get into that because I'm not sufficiently confident in my position on that. But I do know that many people raise that argument. Mark Carney comes out today. 7 years ago, the Humboldt Broncos bus crash cut 16 lives short, a tragedy that rocked our country. It did, by the way. Ask how it happened and why it happened and what they've done to make sure that it doesn't happen since. Don't ask. Give them a fourth term. Hockey has always brought Canadians together, but it's how we show up for one another in grief and in strength that defines who we are. Today, we remember the victims and pray for the families, teammates, and communities who've shown immense strength through their grief and recovery every day since. Forever, #Humboldt Strong. This pisses me off more than... Oh, Viva, what's wrong with you? You get angry and frustrated at a heartfelt sympathy tribute. This is tragedy pandering. Mark J. Carney has had his account since 2010. 15 years. This is the first time ever that he's tweeted about this. Someone actually, who seemingly has half a brain and would probably vote liberal, said, well, Viva, he hasn't always been a politician. Well, congratulations for proving the exact point. You get into politician mode, you get into pander to a stupid base mode, and then you got to go take out your Rolodex. Look, Mark Carney's a real understanding human being. He cares when he's a politician. He doesn't when he's a globalist banker. I'm going to have to do a deep dive on that because from what I understand, there's a lot more to that bus crash than meets the eye that has not been remedied despite. But one thing that you can count on for sure, because there was another tragedy of the day, tragédie du jour, as we say. And Mark Carney got a 2-for-1 today. My thoughts are with all those affected by this morning's shooting in Nepean that tragically took the life of one resident. As we wait for more details from the Ottawa police, I'd like to see those details. I offer my thanks to all the first responders for their quick action to protect the community. He's responding responsibly to yet another shooting. In Nepean, by the way, is where he's running in Ottawa. Nepean is like, it's a town in Ottawa. I know Nepean very well. Tragedy pandering. I won't even make the cynical remark that like he must sit there and say, well, this is like throw a brick through your window and it'll help with fundraising. He has a fatal shooting in his riding and he takes to Twitter to pander about it. Oh, by the way, just, not for nothing. Look at this chart. This chart is absolutely shocking. This is number of homicides by shooting in Canada from 2005 to 2022. Do you know when the Liberals took office? No, not quite at the bottom. Not quite at the second to bottom. 2015, Justin Trudeau took office. 2016, it's up. 2017, it's up. 2018, it's down. 2019, up. 2020, up. 2021, up. 2022, up. It's an amazing thing. The tougher the gun laws get in Canada because of liberal policy, the worse gun crime gets. It's an amazing thing. It's almost like, the criminals don't give a sweet bugger all. You have open borders and zero vetting for who you're letting into the country. But you get a shooting now that you get to pander to your base to show what a nice liberal politician you are. It's going to be a theme. If you vote for the Liberals, you are an idiot. Hands down, no brain, or you're just corrupt and in on it and you're afraid that you'll lose your job if you don't vote for the Liberals. The media is going to vote for the Liberals. Why? Because they promised to double their budget, nearly double their budget. In an election, to the media that's reporting on the election, you promised to nearly double their budget while your adversary, the Conservatives, had discussed cutting the funding to the CBC. And yet, somehow, not only is it not a 50-50 coin toss, according to the markets, which I do put more stock in than polls, I put zero stock in polls. Pierre has lost the betting lead. He's lost, I would say, some of the momentum. And as far as I'm concerned, he's lost some of my optimism that he was going to come in and do what he did that made him the household name that I said he was going to be back in 2020. The Liberals have had 3 governments, albeit minority, but it was a coalition, effectively, not technically a coalition, so don't fact check me. It was a supply and confidence agreement with the NDP. They've been in power since 2015. Nothing's gotten better. Everything's gotten worse. And any idiot out there who's saying, well, we got a new face. He's like a nice old man. He looks like my uncle, Mark Carney. Oh, yeah, I've never heard of him before. Oh, no, he's just been advising Justin Trudeau since 2020. Taking Brookfield Assets Management, moving it to the States because it's better for taxes. Investing in offshore accounts because it's better for taxes. Investing in dirty energy while crippling the Canadian natural resource industry because he makes money off of his own bloody advice to Justin Trudeau. If you vote for them, you are an idiot. There. Serenity now. Oh, good evening, everybody. How goes the battle?